My name is Jason and welcome to my channel. Today what we have is one of these new Velotric Nomad X bikes. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be putting this together just like you're buying it online and having it delivered to your door. So I'm going to be putting this together with limited tools. I will be using a pedal wrench for this build because there's a reason why they have pedal wrench so long. It's because the pedals need to be good and tight. We're going to be putting this thing together and I'm going to be talking you through the build and telling you things that you should be doing, and well, that's about it. Things you should be doing whenever you're putting one of these together. So my brother's here and he's going to be giving me a hand putting this together because this thing weighs at 117 pounds with the packaging. Now, I don't know how much the packaging actually weighs, but you just need to know that this is a heavy bike, and it is nice if you have somebody else to help you get it out of the box. Once it's out of the box, you could still have some help, but at least you can actually do it by yourself at that point. So with that, let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. And then I'm going to be borrowing my brother there behind the camera, and we're going to lift this thing out of the box and start the first steps. All right, so we're going to get my knife and we're going to actually open the box. The tape here is a little tricky because you have this piece here that is a little tricky. Because see, we're going to need to pull that out. All right, we're going to do that, and then the box opens up. Oh, we're also going to be timing myself, so if you'll notice, it is actually 5 till 9 right now. So let's see how long it takes. So you're doing it like someone would at home. You're not doing it for like you're one of your customers, because you spend time truing your wheels, lubing up the cables, and doing everything. That's right. So whenever I put one of these together, I take about 2 hours, and I've had several people comment that, you know, why are you taking so long putting it together? Well, I do that for my customers because I don't want my customers having any issues with their bikes. So I check everything, and we're going to be kind of talking about that with this build. So I'm going to be putting it together and making sure that it's safe, but I'm not going to be as picky on this assembly because y'all might not have the, well, no, y'all don't have the, yeah, y'all don't have the same tools that I have. So if you'll notice, they do a really great job with the packaging here. I'm going to go ahead and get this accessory box right over here in the corner. We're going to go ahead and get that out, and then we can take the foam out. And at this point, I want to be asking the cameraman to put the camera down and give me a hand pulling this thing out of the box, if you could please, sir.
Okay.
All right. So this thing is almost 100 pounds. Here, let's fold this.
Another thing we could do is you can take a knife carefully and cut the sides off to drop the sides.
And that's a very good point, but see, there's a very important
things.
Well, no, I don't think so, because they did a really good job on this. But see, there's a couple of things that we need to check out on the bike before we actually start assembling, because this is their full suspension version, and we need to check the pivot bolts on the bike to make sure there's none that's damaged, because if they are, this thing's going back to the company.
You gotta have the box to put it back in.
Yes, and okay, also the packing material, so this is going to be easier if there's any issues.
Oh my God.
I told you it's a heifer. All right, let's move this box. So there are a few bolts that we need to actually check, and they're actually these bolts right here that actually thread into crucial parts of the frame. So I actually did bring a torque wrench and a couple of Allen keys because we want to check these before we take this any further. On the pivot bolts here, they actually have the torque specs already on there. So this one is going to be 25 Newton meters, and then this one is going to be 15 Newton meters. Yes, 15 Newton meters. So I have my Park Tool torque wrench here, and we're going to get, these are not the best Allen keys to use, but they will work with this. This is actually an 8mm Allen key, and we're going to be attaching it to my torque wrench, and we're going to tighten this one to 25 Newton meters, and which is just right there. Okay, so that one's good. This next one, it needs to tighten up to 15 Newton meters, and there we are. And I'm doing this because I did unfortunately have one where at the factory they actually stripped this bolt out, and it was a little disappointing, especially whenever I spent 2 hours putting this bike together properly and then inspecting the bolts after the assembly, and finding that bolt stripped out really ruined my day. Now that we've checked these bolts right here, we're going to go to the other side, and we do need to remove the wheel to do that. So we're going to be cutting these zip ties, and they are rather large.
Probably ought to pick a better tool.
Well, it's the best you had, bro.
Yeah.
And I left mine at the shop. Ow. Let's get the trusty
for a knife.
Going for a knife, which you need to be careful.
Especially if your brother in line with fire. Oh dear.
These, don't use a knife on these.
So have you ever, like, here, hold the camera. Give me.
Talking about prying in there, yes, I've done that.
Plus, you get the added benefit of
Being able to use them.
zip ties. How sharp is this knife?
It's very sharp.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the blade away.
It was just sharpened.
Okay. Good to know.
So what he's doing is there's a little
There's a tab.
and he's actually, yes. And
Yeah.
these zip ties are very handy, and if you'll notice, look at how big these zip ties are. They're huge.
You got to watch out for the tire.
Yes, definitely.
Got to watch out for your brother.
Here, I'll continue doing that. So,
Or you can just keep cutting.
well, pair of dikes are quicker, and I was trying to make this job as quick as possible.
Uh-huh.
We're going to be spending more time undoing zip ties than putting this thing together today.
So I'll undo everything?
We're just going to undo it where we can take the wheel off, because there's
so I
still
don't need
the
to undo this one.
no, there's still the possibility that Now, I'm sure it's probably fine. It's just I found out the hard way that, after spending so much time putting this thing together, that I had to send it back. So,
So
we're doing these
pre-check before assembly.
Yes, 25 Newton meters. That's good. Then this one is 15 Newton meters, and that's good. This is a through bolt. We will be inspecting that, but that's not as crucial. And these bolts back here are actually supposed to be tightened to 15 Newton meters, but that's also a through bolt, so that's not a big deal. However, you really kind of need an Allen on the other side because these tend to turn before they hit 15. Oh, look at that. It's right at 15 Newton meters.
Bro, I'd like to point out that you are still spending more time on this bike than an actual person would putting this together.
Well, we're done doing this because this is for a very important client, because they actually bought 5 of these, and I'm doing a video on doing the delivery. Now this is the final one, the 5th one that I'm putting together, and now again, I'm going to be putting this thing together more like the average person, but whenever I get to the shop, I'm actually going to be redoing it. So now that that's being said, these bolts are good, and one of the 5 that I was putting together is the one with the stripped out bolts. So thankfully, none of the other ones has had any. This is the 6th one actually. So now that I'm good, let's go ahead and get this thing put together. And not worry about the zip ties. Always cut away from you. Maybe I need to resharpen this knife. Okay.
That was kind of gorgeous.
I know.
Do as you say, not what you do.
Exactly. Sorry, bro, I'm going to be making a mess.
That's fine.
As long as I clean it up afterwards, right?
I mean, if you don't clean it up, I'm sure the mice will love it.
All right. Now, it's super important to actually fully, and whenever I say fully charge the battery, I mean fully charge the battery before you actually take it on its first ride. So, while I'm assembling this, I do like to go ahead and plug in the charger right from the beginning so that this thing can be well on its way to being charged. So after we get this thing put together, we're actually going to be doing some things for my brother here to help with his channel, and then we're going to come back and go for a nice little test ride.
Oh, so that thing's got to be plugged in for several hours?
It does.
Oh.
It's going to take about 5 hours to charge.
Oh, goodness. So are we talking about an evening ride then?
Yes.
Okay.
So, helps if I plug the right one in. So, typically it's a good procedure to plug this thing in first before plugging it into the wall. Plugging it into the bike first, of course. And I like this plug because it can only go one direction, so you don't even have to look at it. So we're going to see it turn red. All right, so now it's 10 minutes after, so let's go ahead and get this thing done.
So you've already spent like 30 minutes just going over stuff. So technically you can take 30 minutes off of this build time.
It was
a lot of people aren't going to check that other stuff.
It was actually 15 minutes.
Oh, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
be very careful about cutting zip ties off of the fork here, because you don't want to scratch the stanchions.
Or the cable, or...
Well, there's, yeah. Like I said, spending more time undoing the zip ties. So it's a great little bike. The cool thing about this Velotric is it's got an oil dampened front suspension fork on it. It's going to have an air rear shock on there, as well as the fork. So they do not provide a shock pump with this, so you will need to buy a pump if you want to change the air pressure in either one of the suspension components on this bike. So we're going to want to discard the little axle guards here. Okay, so
I do want to apologize to your viewers about the lighting quality in this place. Not that great.
yeah, no, it's all right. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we turn the fork around, and we're going to go ahead and, I guess, put the handlebars on. So I need my Allen keys.
Are you serious?
Oh, that's right. I was trying to put this thing together.
So he had a pair of diagonal cutters in his toolbox the whole time.
It's not that
hilarious and tragic at the same time.
it's dikes, or these things don't make life a little bit easier. Oh my gosh. All right, so all right, so the stem is angled down. We actually want to angle it up. I like to angle it up at about a 45-degree angle.
45 degrees, that's about like that, right?
Yes. Or you can actually watch the stem here. And so what you've got to do is you've got to loosen up this bolt right here, and then you got to kind of jerk the stem around a little bit. 45 degrees is going to be about right there.
And why do you want 45 degrees?
Well, it's just more comfortable, and it's kind of in the middle. If you want to make the stem
adjust up or down, you've got adjustment.
Yes, either way. They don't have okay, max 22 to 25 Newton meters. So you want to check that, and I will check that, but we're time sensitive right now. We got things to do.
Well, we're trying to beat the clock too on this thing.
So I said it was 10 after.
Yeah.
All right, so what you should be doing is you should be greasing these bolts.
That's what.
Are we good?
We're rolling,
Okay.
sir.
All right, cool. Sorry guys, we had a camera issue. Or actually it was a corrupted SD card. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So, let's see. So I got the handlebars on. With the handlebars, they actually have the torque spec on the handlebars etched on there, and it's supposed to be 6 to 8 Newton meters. I'm installing the light right now. And we don't need to make it really tight because the light bracket is plastic, so we just need to make it snug. Alright, so we're going to hook up the plug here. So we're going to look for the arrows and we're going to line up the arrows, plug it in. Let's see, we're going to do red and red and green. Where's, oh,
We got the screen.
yes, gotta have the screen.
It's like a little miniature flat screen TV.
It is.
Yeah. By the way, does that have like Bluetooth? Because it'd be really cool to link it up with your phone and watch a movie while going down the road.
Yeah, that's
I do it all the time.
And how many accidents have you had?
One.
One? Were you watching movies whenever it happened?
No.
Alright, what do you think would happen if you're watching movies? You'd get in a lot more accidents. Now, we don't want to be a distracted rider here. Actually, there's already a lot of controversy with e-bikes because there are a lot of accidents with e-bikes, but it's not the e-bike's fault. It's careless riders. So
Careless driving.
yeah. So whenever you're on the greenway, you really want to use a lot of common sense if you can to really help reduce accidents. So I do love how these are color coded. So green and green, red and red, black and black. Of course, there's another black one right here, but at least it's a different shape. All right, so we're going to install the wheel. And we're going to go for the dropouts, but of course those washers are getting in the way. Wow. Look at there. Don't get the tire near the walls because it'll leave black marks. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay. I need a paint anyways.
Alright. Now, you really should have a socket 15mm tool because the dropouts on here, if you'll notice, they're kind of recessed.
Yeah.
So a regular wrench does not fit very well. So it can. So I'm going to tighten one side a little bit. I'm going to tighten the other side a little bit. Then I'm going to go back to the other side, loosen it. And I don't know if you heard that pop, that wheel is shifting in place. So I loosened it and I'm kind of pulling the wheel this way, which is forcing it into the dropout. And then I'm going to go back over this side, tighten it a little bit more, and then back here and tighten it a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth, trying to keep the axle from turning, because if the axle turns in the dropouts, it'll shift. So good and snug. Good and snug. Okay. So now I need to install this brake real quick because we are on a time crunch. Trying to get this done quickly. So I put the kickstand down, which helped keep this bike up. Depending on how much footage we have lost, you may or may not see that in the video, because while my brother was recording, it said, what did it say?
Corrupted file, something like that.
Go to garminverb.com or something like that. Yeah, so I don't know how much of the footage is going to be lost, but I did look, and it looks like we might have lost a minute.
Well, missed a step or so, a step or two.
All right, so what I'm doing is I've put this caliper into the fork here.
Oh yeah, and the alignment.
The alignment. So what I'm doing is
I'm brake.
Yes.
And hold the brake while tightening up the brake caliper.
Yeah. So just lightly. So I haven't tightened this too much. I'm gonna let go of the caliper, and we're going to look at the brake pads and see. And it looks like it's kind of off too far one way. And do you hear it rubbing?
I do.
So that doesn't work always, but I'm looking at the brake pads and I can actually see both brake pads. The disc is in the middle. Well, I can see light through one side but not the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scoot the caliper over just a little bit, because it always puts you pretty close. So if you're lucky, it'll line it up perfectly. If you're unlucky, you might have to make a small adjustment like what I'm doing here. So I'm just looking for daylight in between on either side of the disc. So we're going to lift this up and spin it again. There we are.
I don't hear anything.
Quiet as it can be. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I only want to do this once because we're screwing these bolts into this fork. The fork itself is threaded. I don't want the threads damaged on that. So I've got my torque wrench right here, and we're going to tighten both of these bolts to 8 Newton meters. 8 Newton meters. So we're at 8 on that one, and that's hitting the wheel. So let's turn it around this way. There we go. And right at 8 Newton meters. All right, and we're gonna spin the wheel again, make sure it's not rubbing, because yeah, we're good. All right, let's install the fender. Sometimes these bolts you can undo it by your finger, sometimes you have to put a tool on it. Okay. I need my 10 millimeter and my 5 millimeter. And we're going to start to tighten this down. And then I found that right before I tighten this thing up, I like to move this halfway, the bracket there. I found that works pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I like that fender to be farther away from the knobs of the tires. And we're just gonna snug it up. We don't need to go super tight. We're gonna hook up the brackets here. Now everything on this bike, everything is metric. So right now I'm using a 4 millimeter Allen key. The stem I was using a 4 millimeter Allen key. This is a 5 millimeter. So everything is metric. Okay, kind of make sure this is straight. Okay. So we're just gonna snug this up. And that should be snug, that's snug. So fender's on. The pedals, we need to put pedals on. We're gonna put some grease on the threads.
And does every single bike have one pedal that is a reverse thread, or not all of them are like that?
Well, 99.9% of the bikes out there, the left pedal is reverse threaded. So,
well, it even tells you on the bracket.
Righty tighty.
yes.
That little R right there.
So, come on. There we go. You don't want to force it in. You want to be able to thread it in with your fingers. And I found that whenever I'm threading these in, once I thread them in by hand part of the way, I like to get my pedal wrench at this point. Now there's a reason why pedal wrenches are so long. It's because pedals are supposed to be really tight. A regular wrench, you can see how much shorter that is. So you can, actually I can't even use a regular wrench on this. That's the other thing. Pedal wrenches are actually a little bit thinner than a regular one, so you can actually get it in there. So I'm pedaling backwards, and that tightens the right side up, and we're going to make it good and snug. And we're going to do the left one and back pedaling as well. Good and snug. All right, the crank arms right here use an 8mm Allen key. Those are supposed to be tightened up to 35 to 45 Newton meters. All right, pedals are done. Handlebars are on. We got the stem, front brake, fender. We got to put the reflectors on. Charging time says it should be done in 18 minutes. So that's pretty cool. It's really important to make sure that you fully charge the battery before you take it out for the first ride. All right, gears. I'm going to lean this over, and we're going to go through the gears. So that seems to be doing pretty good. At the bottom, I do like to kind of pull on the derailleur a little bit to make sure it's not going to go any further. It's not going to. So we're going to go up, and whenever we get to the top, I'm going to push the shifter lever all the way over. Oh, and did you see that?
I saw it.
Let's do the camera. So what's happening is that chain is going too far over, and that's actually not good. So we actually need to go to the limit screw here.
And this is something the regular person doesn't do.
No, it should have been done from the factory. I did not bring my screwdrivers. This one should be, I'll make this work. So this low set screw, I'm going to go to the shifter here, and I'm going to be pushing on the button here, and do you see that derailleur still moving?
Yeah.
So we need to screw this low limit screw in and keep doing it until, do you see how it's now stopped moving?
Yeah.
So now if we try to make it go over again, see I'm trying to force it over. See how it's not going? So there we go.
Nice.
So these wheels are a little bit out of true. Take a close look at this. Whenever I build these wheels, whenever I build this bike, I take these wheels off and I straighten these wheels at the shop. So I'm going to be, after we're done with this, we're going to, oh, wait a second. What time are we at? How much time? Because we're done.
We're done?
We're done.
We're at 30 minutes, sir.
30 minutes. All right, that's not too bad. So, you know, for the people that say I take too much time, I can build these pretty quickly. It's just for my customers, I do like to make sure that everything's tight. So we haven't checked the fenders to make sure they're tight. We haven't checked, we haven't trued the wheels, but the wheels are straight enough that it is going to be rideable. But you ready for a test ride, bro?
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, we'll see you out. Where are we going to test ride this?
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. Well, how about we take it to your shop, because I don't want to get this bike too dirty since it's not mine.
Oh, yeah. My dirt road.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll see you out there. The screen was off. All right, dude. Looking at the bike out in the wild, I kind of like it. I really dig it. I've always been a sucker for camo. The fenders don't look unusual. I mean, it looks good. Snaps. This is a hub drive, right? And the hub drive is a lot more reliable. Now, it's less performance, but what I love about a hub drive, and let's get something straight. A mid drive, with a chain drive or a hub drive, they're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but performance wise, a mid drive e-bike is going to perform better for trails and stuff like that. If you're doing hardcore mountain biking, I'm talking serious mountain biking. Whereas if you're wanting something to have a little bit of fun and such, this does fun. And the beauty is, if the chain snaps while you're on the trail or riding around,
You can still go.
you can still get where you're going.
Right. Well, I gotta say, I like the bike. So, without wasting y'all's time anymore, I'm gonna hop on it. I'm gonna get on this bike.
Let's talk about some of the features.
Some of the features?
Yeah. Now, give me the mic on that, and then
Man,
we're gonna do
I'm
this.
ready to ride.
I know. All right, let's talk about some of the features on this bike. This is a 750 watt motor with a 1400 watt peak, meaning that it does give you an extra boost for a short time, but then it backs off so that it doesn't overheat the motor. We're going to have an aluminum frame with a rear suspension, so it's going to have an air rear suspension. Keep in mind that if you get one of these, you're going to need to get an air shock so you can actually tune it for your pump. A pump, yeah. Well, not a regular pump. It has to be a shock pump, because this is high pressure. Same thing with the front shock. This is a air front suspension, so the air actually goes in this top cap right here. Yeah. And whenever we first set this thing up, this is oil dampened, and meaning that whenever see how quickly it goes up. You actually want it to go quickly without being too fast, but there's a knob on the underside here that you can actually adjust to where it's like super slow.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, but that's too slow, because you hit bump after bump after bump.
Then you're going to be bottoming it out.
It's going to be packing down. So you want to adjust it where it returns quickly. Okay, so that's. Let's go a hair bit quicker. Just a tiny bit. We're actually really close there. Nope. I liked it the way it was. So you have better control. The light. The cool thing about the light on here is you can actually turn the light on by pushing the little positive button, and after a couple of seconds the light does come on, and it's a bright light. There is also a light sensor on here. If you forget to turn the light on, there's a little light sensor here that automatically turns the light on for you. It's got working brake lights, bro.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, it's got turn signals.
Okay, turning left,
I see it.
and then turning right. All right,
That's cool.
it's got 15 levels of torque sensor available. So whenever you're riding this, I don't want you to use the throttle at first. Try out the torque sensor, because trust me, it's going to be better.
Okay.
You can actually,
It'll save on battery.
it does. And you also get exercise, so it's actually really cool. So as far as the levels, I mean, you've got 1 through 5 on economy, you've got 1 through 5 on trail, and 1 through 5 on boost. But you know what, with all this, you're ready to ride. You're used to riding like dirt bikes and everything. You have no problem with power. So we're going to go ahead and put it on boost. We're also going to put it on level 5, but this is not a 250cc 2-cycle dirt bike or anything like that. So go ahead and put the microphone on, and why don't you try this thing out. That's torque, so you'll need to shift gears. So once you get going, you're going to need to pull this little trigger and just one at a time. Downshift.
Upshift, downshift. Because once you're pedaling, once there's no pressure on the pedals, the motor's not going to be working.
Right. Okay. Here we go. When does it start? Oh, God. Dude, that is so cheating. What happens if I just rest my foot? Nothing happens.
Nothing
It's got to see speed.
It's got to start to rotate.
So it's got a speed sensor on it.
A speed sensor and a torque sensor.
Oh, God. All right, I got to say, that's kind of nice.
All right. So since we're in Mexico, we're going to go for top speed. So we're going to hit this little mode button, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to go into
stealth mode, speed limit.
Speed limit. We're going to hit the mode there. We're going to turn the speed limit up to 28.
Which is that legal?
Not in North Carolina. That's why we're in Mexico. That's why we went to Mexico. However, the interesting thing is it's going to go faster than 28. Why don't you tell the camera how fast it goes?
Okay.
Do you want me to hold it while you do a ride by?
No, sorry. I mean, I can do that and then pick it up and do a...
Yeah.
How far can the camera get away from the mic?
It's only up close, 50 feet.
But it'll automatically...
It automatically links up. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not. So don't worry about.
Do I need to go to the mailbox down there and
further?
Further than that?
Yeah.
To get top speed?
Yes.
And I'm pedaling at the same time.
You're pedaling up. You can use the throttle if you want.
There's a throttle?
Oh yeah, the throttle is right there.
Why is the throttle on the left? That's dumb.
It's just different.
Okay. So if I hit the throttle, it'll automatically go.
Unless if you're holding on to the brake. If there's a safety switch.
There it is.
So if you hold on to the brake, it shuts off.
What happens if I let go of the brake while holding on to the throttle?
It's going to go.
It won't wheelie or anything.
No.
That is such cheating.
Yeah.
33.
33. Okay.
And I feel like it could have gone faster.
No, that's
it?
the limit. Yeah. Typically it's 32, but it does hit 33 every once in a while.
Yeah.
And this thing can go up to 75 miles on a charge.
Pedaling?
Pedaling. That's on economy and 1, so you can be cruising along at 12 miles per hour for several hours.
Yeah. All right. We'll let them join me.
What part of Mexico is this?
San Juan?
San Juan? It's very pretty.
Yeah, yeah. Not bad. All right. So, the torque sensor's interesting. Like, it literally has to be, it's got to feel pressure in the crank. I'd like to know how that works, because it literally jerks as I'm like adding a little extra pressure and then taking pressure off. This thing's cool. So I found that you can leave it in the high gear and it still has that torque sensor. Let's hit the throttle and see what happens. It's just going. So it's a pretty nice bike. It seems like it's a good size for me. I don't know. It's got plenty of go. Smooth ride. I like it. It's a nice bike. I bet you it would have been a lot better if my brother spent time to do the wheels, true the wheels, and do everything else. It's a nice bike, dude.
I like it.
I'll give you $20 for it.
I'm sure you would. But this one's already spoken for. So.
Oh. So you're just teasing me with this bike.
I wanted your first impressions. You've never ridden an e-bike before.
Not,
You've ridden an e-dirt bike
yeah,
before.
pretty much.
Yeah.
This is pretty nice. I don't know, man. Can I poo-poo it?
Yes.
Okay, so my personal opinion, if you own a bike, you're pedaling.
Yes.
This throttle thing, it's a motorcycle at this point. And I can literally say motorcycle because it's not an engine cycle like a gas-powered motorcycle. This is literally a motorcycle.
Well,
I like motorcycles.
yes. Well, here's the thing. It's not powerful enough to do wheelies. You're not going to be spinning tires, in dirt.
I know some motorcycles that won't wheelie and won't spin.
Well, but hear me out here.
Okay.
So this allows people who are, let's say, medically, not able to ride bikes as much. People, physically disabled people.
Okay. Well, I never thought about that because everyone that I see on it are usually like just normal people.
There is a lot of people like that. But see, this is for people who want some assistance riding, and having pedals on this allows this bike to be used in any state park, and it allows this to be legal on trails for people who want to actually go the distance where they've never really been before.
Yeah.
So there are some good things, and there's some bad things to everything.
It's a nice bike. So, my brother, I'm handing it over to you. It feels great. I guess when you go over it one last time for the customer, you know, truing up the wheels and all that stuff, it's going to make it even better. So thank you for the opportunity to sit my butt on a electric bike.
Well guys, it's been a great trip here in Mexico. If you really enjoyed the video, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to tell your friends. Check out some of the other videos on the corner of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you later. I think he's enjoying it.